Hi friends! Today I'm going to share a present with you that I've gotten recently, something that's very special to me. Before I do, we're going to discuss something that can be kind of difficult for people, and that's death. When I was about 10 years old, my father died of a second heart attack. He had had one when I was much younger, and then the second one when I was about 10, which finally is the one that killed him. Obviously, this was a very difficult experience in my life to grow up with that grieving and without my father. I think a lot of you out there who don't have a father or who have lost their father can understand how hard it is to grow up without that role model in your life. The reason that I wanted to bring that up and discuss that today is because of this book that my sister had given me over Christmas. And it's called A Father's Book of Wisdom, compiled by H. Jackson Brown Jr. It's a book full of quotes, some from other people, some from his own father. In the intro, it tells you about how he found a box full of receipts and papers and things that his father had scribbled on after his father had died about different quotes and things and inspiration. My sister gave this to me, and she said when she gave it to me, it was a book that was on my own father's shelf. And she thought now, as an adult, that maybe I would appreciate having it since I don't have my father to ask for advice, that it might just be kind of a sweet thing to have a book of quotes, which I think is a really special gift, and I'm really glad that she shared it. What I would like to do is for myself and maybe those of us out there, especially young women who are growing up and they don't have their father, to randomly flip through this book and land on a quote and discuss that quote and talk about how, that can be applied to my life now and how that can maybe help me where I'm at now, to hear that sort of fatherly advice. Although I'm older and it's been years since my father has died, I think that something that can be difficult is as you grow up, having lost a parent when you were young, sometimes you can go through the feeling of it being difficult to connect with that parent. As I get older and more time goes by, it becomes more difficult to feel connected to my dad. And even though my dad's no longer alive, doesn't mean that relationship with him isn't important and doesn't deserve to be valued and grow as I grow. And even though he isn't here directly, I think there's a lot of really positive and healthy things that can be done for a person who has suffered great grief to find ways to cope with that as they get older. And even though I'm not actively grieving the same way as I would have been as a child, having first lost my father, grief, I believe, changes its form as we get older and we move through those steps and that relationship is no longer there. We still need to adapt and change. Even without my father, I'm still here and living as a daughter, and I believe that I still deserve that relationship. So, as a way to connect, feel more connected to my father, and also to maybe provide some healthy grieving activity for those of you that are in the same shoes, or even those who aren't and haven't lost their father. Maybe this can be a healthy, positive activity for us to do together that will just, maybe we can apply it to our own lives. So, to begin, like I said, I'm going to just go to a random page and read that quote. Opportunity. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. That's kind of ironic that that's the quote I got starting this exercise today. I think that says it right there. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I'm just sharing with you the difficulty I've had in my life growing up without my father and how difficult it's been not having him physically be present to share advice with and talk about problems and get the guidance that I need from a father. And just sharing that difficulty with you lies opportunity, which the opportunity is here I am having a chance to share that experience out loud, even if nobody even watches this video, I've been able to share that experience out loud and sort of work through it and talk about the opportunity that I can have with this book and opportunities I can create to have that connection and to provide those that are going through that my experience, and maybe they can find some hope in, you know, me sharing what I had to go through growing up without a father. So I think that was a great quote to start off with. And like I said, even if nobody watches this, it still feels like I get to speak with him, my dad, and offers me some of his advice that difficulties lie ahead and I can always find an opportunity in them, and that I'm strong and I'm going to survive. And so will you if you're going through anything like that. And if you are and you need to reach out, you know, feel free. Feel free to leave comments about your experience if you want, or, you know, reach out to connect to somebody. Just know that you're not alone in that experience and that other people know what you're going through, and they may not know exactly how you feel because nobody knows how you feel except you, but, you know, talk to somebody. And if you've grown up, you know, having lost your parent and you find yourself as an adult now, I encourage you to, you know, find ways to feel connected to your parent or lost loved one, or, you know, just because that person's not here doesn't mean that that relationship's not important. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope that provides some comfort maybe for somebody out there. I think every now and then when I really feel like I could use some advice from my dad and some guidance, that this might be a good exercise to make that happen. Thank you again for watching and letting me share that with you. And until next time, be kind to each other and take care.